Hello. Welcome back to MiloGainzCrypto. You guys need to talk about something. We got GMT here on the rise. Hit upwards of 24 cents, almost 25 cents today, and a little bit of a pump, which I did not expect to see. But I wanted to take some time and share. I mean, it's probably in the title. I haven't come up with a title name yet, but it's probably going to be somewhere along the lines of, my overall assessment of STEPN, as some of you may be preparing to either look into investing in STEPN. Maybe you're already invested and the bull market's coming. In particular today, it's like, oh my gosh, there's this pump with GMT and also GST, and kind of what's the deal with this project with STEPN, with this whole ecosystem, STEPN Go, etc. And I think I've kind of formalized some thoughts, but let me give some history here. I've for the past year or so, I've made videos about STEPN OG. Not really STEPN Go as much. We'll touch on that here. If you're new to STEPN Go, historically it started as STEPN, was just its name, now known as STEPN OG. And then there was a fork in the road back in May of 2024. And this is where I kind of had a bit of a shift, or where my shift started for STEPN overall. I mean, I did start in 2022. Pretty early on, so I have a couple years, I guess 2.5 years, of being involved in STEPN, being a consistent walker, runner, player, veteran status, all those fun things. I don't have all the accolades, but I got a few. And I want to just say, I guess I'll just start with this. I am neutral on STEPN, and if you are looking to join it or maintain in it, I'd say have some caution. By the way, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. But as I said, on May 23rd of 2024, something fateful happened for the STEPN ecosystem. This is a screenshot from their Twitter X that now says STEPN Go. Previously just said STEPN, had a different logo. Actually, let me see if I can find that. Here it is. Here's a screenshot or a pause from my old videos. This is what STEPN looked like historically. This little shoe, STEPN, public beta phase. This is what most users saw. And then everything changed. I mean, we got a holiday logo. But dear community, we are incredibly proud to announce STEPN Go, the latest innovation from FSL Web3. Long story short, this game got splintered. Every social media that previously had this logo, which is the STEPN OG logo, got swapped for STEPN Go. This can be said for YouTube as well, STEPN Go official, and kind of the branding for STEPN OG just kind of fell away. And if you have screenshots, you have it. If you have your STEPN OG account, great, you see all this similar graphics, but all the mainstream is no more. And that's kind of this is a pretty stream of consciousness right now and trying to get my thoughts together. But I've been trying to really put my finger on what is it about this game, because I like it. I gotta say, I do like STEPN. I use it every day. It's super helpful for me with just even goals. I like seeing how far I can go, if I can complete my energy. Apologies if you don't know some of this terminology like energy and such if you're new. Look at my previous videos if you want to know kind of the ins and outs of STEPN OG. But I like this game, and that's my trouble. I find this very beneficial. I take my dog out, I run. I use Strava too, and then I get to earn some income, and it might be a little small amount with GMT or GST every day. I'm kind of currently stocking it up. I'm holding some I've cashed out to some dollars, some I've allocated into other projects, but I am still having a minor hold position, just because, not necessarily to do with STEPN specifically, though if it's bullish and everyone falls in love with STEPN as this bull market keeps on going, hopefully it keeps going, I expect, some returns for GMT, just as I expect returns for Bitcoin or, Bitcoin's leading the charge here, really close to its all-time high. But yeah, just altcoins in general. I'm just bullish on GMT for that reason alone, but then, isolate its use case and the product. This is where I'm like, I don't know how many standout features it has for someone to be bullish on this on the long term. But yeah, bullish for it in itself because it's an altcoin and because there's probably going to be some meta narrative that comes around move to earn. At least I hope so. Will help me out and will help you out if you're invested in this. So I just want to get that out there. I like this game. It's fun. I'm grieved there hasn't been more development on it. And that can be my segue to the next point. So there has historically been, with STEPN, a lot of kind of, I'll have to call it breadcrumb trail. Like, hey, we have some info coming out. Stay tuned. Hey, we're going to develop it, or this is going to happen. And it was in beta phase. So I want to say, I understand that the devs can't deliver on every single thing. I'm sure there were so many ideas that they genuinely were passionate about, and then just practicality happened. You can only do so much. There's only so much time in the day to make it all happen. So I get that you can't make everything happen. But what I think is very unfortunate is if you go to their main website, just stepn.com, they got a link for STEPN Go if you want to check out STEPN Go. We have a roadmap that hasn't been updated since the beginning of 2024. Moreover, there's still looming promises, at least here, that have been scrapped, like marathon mode. And marathon mode was something that was so hyped on, something I actually bought and invested for with a resilience socket sneaker. If you know, you know. But it never happened, and that kind of made me, kind of waste a little money there. But again, it's on me. This is a risky project, and I bought at my own peril, I suppose. But here's the difficult part. You have, a lagging website, a seeming abandonment of a project that used to be, much greater, at least in my opinion. But kind of like the breadcrumb trail that I said, I wouldn't put so much hope for certain outcomes if you look here, this is a recap of one of their town halls back in April. Let me get to a zoom in. If the team doesn't promise us first, right? Here's what they said. In the meantime, we completed our 12-month roadmap for STEPN, and we will share it in the next town hall. This never happened. And the website right here shows that it never happened. That was in April of 2024, around this time, and we never got a roadmap to follow. Okay, maybe they could stretch the language and say the roadmap was actually for STEPN Go, and there was, some kind of general roadmap to emerge for STEPN Go, but no one knew that. This was before STEPN Go was ever announced. And then, take it for resilience gems, marathon mode, all these anticipatory kind of language and nuances kind of sprinkled for the past year, 2 years about what's to come. And not only is it all for naught on STEPN OG, but the breadcrumb trail just leads us ultimately to, hey, we have a totally new app, hop on board, Also, we're going to convert all our social medias from STEPN OG to STEPN Go, so that any newcomer will not even they'll want to onboard to STEPN Go, but not STEPN OG. Yeah, and that's kind of frustrating. And again, let me just say some things. I know the developers' hope is that STEPN Go works well with STEPN OG, helps out the STEPN OG investors with their investment, balances the ecosystem with GMT, not so much GST, I think, just because that's a utility token, but just brings some stability overall. I know that was the hope, but again, it's the communication. And also, a big part of it, and this is something I don't know if I'll need to make another video on this. The hope for STEPN Go was to onboard the Web 2 user to Web 3, aka onboard the non-crypto everyday person to STEPN ecosystem, aka to crypto, to Web 3, by making it easier for the Web 2 user. I think this was a severe miss. So it's been 7-8 months, whatever the math is, since May. I think one of the biggest missteps here was the STEPN's team thinking we need to figure out how to make onboarding easier for the Web 2 user, but this was done before Web 3 was satisfied. That decision was made before Web 3 users, aka the STEPN OG users and potential others in crypto that might come to STEPN OG, before STEPN built up a name of trust and reliability for those who are in Web 3. So I feel like they pulled the cake out of the oven way before it was done and said, okay, let's put a new batch in, and then moreover, let's actually put the frosting on the new batch and the sprinkles before the original recipe was ever even left in the oven and got its due diligence and care and nurture invested into it. So yeah, I think that was not a great move at this juncture, at this time, was to consider that non-crypto user at this point when we're still trying to get our legs under us in Web3. Those who already know kind of the language, have wallets, know what Solana is, know how to do sending and, get a ledger, get whatever you need to secure your crypto, your seed phrases, right? All of this language we all know. Maybe if you're new, you don't know it quite yet, but you're starting to. But that's because you already have the interest for crypto, right? You already kind of getting your feet wet. But yeah, so I'm kind of ranting and going off a little rabbit trail there. But I think that was kind of, they missed the target audience for this moment of time of 2024, 2025. Yeah, so, and still, I think I could stomach a lot of this much more if there was just transparency and vulnerability. Hey, here's where we're going. This is what we're going to do. Because again, as I said, I've invested in this project. So many have invested anticipating for certain releases or upgrades, right? Or certain roadmap because of what the STEPN devs have formally communicated. And then that they don't deliver, right? Here we go. We still have marathon mode here. And here, guys, okay, maybe the fact that we have a $616 million market cap company and we cannot get this website updated, I don't have an excuse for that one. That's bad, right? That really communicates that this truly is second fiddle and this isn't worth the time, effort, or labor to cater to our original investors, our original loyal community who bought in. This is really bad here. Yeah, I mean, winter Q1 of 2024, we still have question marks with things. Man, we don't even have a leaderboard still. Oh man, this is just so hard to look at. Okay, I might have some more to say on this and some of the misses, but again, maybe for another time. But here is part of the conundrum. And I've thought about this, and I may be wrong. And this is opinion. Again, not financial advice or not. This isn't supposed to help you determine whether to invest or not invest. Make your own decisions. Do your own research. But I can't get. I see posts on X that this is all scam or the devs don't care. And perhaps it's the case, and I'm not keeping track of every single wallet transition of every single GMT whale. I can admit that. I haven't done all the research there. But what I have to look at is the devs and the team have made efforts to reward the loyal community who has stuck around, who has been in the highs and the lows. Right, I think back to last April where all the FSL points were given out and then GMT distributed right here, right? 235 million GMT distributed. I was a recipient of FSL points that had commuted into GMT. That was free. Again, maybe this inflated GMT at one point, but nevertheless, I was rewarded with a monetary amount in GMT. And then more recently, right, we have this burn event where if you're not super tuned into this, the devs are letting the community vote and participate. And this was something that was a little too late for some. This might have been great to have as an option for other big decisions, aka should let us vote on whether to do step and go or not. But here we are. But we are now giving the opportunity to vote with our GMT whether to burn a great amount, right? So if users collectively lock 100 million GMT, 60 million will forever be burned from the supply. If we reach this 500 million level, 230 million GMT will be forever burned. Looks relatively feasible in the next month. And what probably won't happen, maybe it does, I don't know, is if 900 million GMT are locked by users, 600 million GMT will forever be burned. And this will crush that circulating supply, bring it down much more, which will, again, add way more value to GMT. If there's less supply on the market and more demand comes, boom, your GMT goes up in value, whether it's GMT you've invested in, GMT you've earned by moving. So I see efforts by the dev team to try to right the ship a little bit. And for me, I feel like the devs, if you're familiar with sports, I think they are coaches who so desperately want their team to win. I do think they want us to win. I think they want to win. I think they want to develop the best product, have a FSL ecosystem be as robust and smooth and interactive, and anyone who onboards is a great experience. I don't, at this point, think they're just trying to get us to invest, to take our money and run away with it. I'm not convinced of that. Again, maybe I'm wrong. But it just seems like poor management. And I had to write it down for ultimately what kind of summarizes my thoughts on just kind of what's happened and ultimately why, and maybe this will be my title, why I like STEPN but wouldn't recommend it at this point. Like why I wouldn't recommend someone to invest in sneakers or the app just because of the back and forth, lack of transparency. At any moment, like here's the reality, like next week, tomorrow, there could be a new STEPN, there could be a third app. They could eliminate Step and Go. They can, do whatever. And we just that's just kind of is what it is. Now, if there's a voting system like this, like, hey, we're thinking about doing a fork to have another sister game or cousin game. Again, this could, take away from Step and OG or Step and Go. What do you guys think of this? Should we do this? Here, vote with your GMT. Oh my gosh, that would have been fantastic. The community truly would have spoken. And I think had the community had that opportunity, we would have just been left with Step and OG. That much I'm convinced of. But here's my thoughts. Okay, little Google Doc. I'm just going to read verbatim. It is my opinion that the STEPN team cares about the investors and wants us to succeed as well as their ecosystem. They do not want to rob us of our money, time, and overall investment. However, because of the team's insulation from critique, miscalculation of the target audience at this moment in time, and a false sense of success, The STEPN team has developed a game ecosystem that misses the mark of what it could have been had they considered major critiques, evaluated their true and immediate target audience, and maintained a fair assessment of their product and progress. Here's what I mean about false idea of success. So this was posted earlier last year too, where Forbes talked about STEPN, and the short of it is like STEPN really is a leading Web3 game. I mean, GMT, it's in the top 150, around 150 cryptocurrencies, and it survived the bear market. And it's got a big user base. I got some video in the archive of like kind of where it is as far as Solana games. So STEPN has done really well. But again, I think this gave a false sense of success that the team can do no wrong because of it, or every decision or majority of decisions that have been made have been the right decisions. And for me, it feels like there's like a flying close to the sun. Like, oh, we can only go up and up and up, and there's no consequences. And there seemed to be an air of that, not only for the decision for Step and Go, but for me, the tone deafness of like them doing it, expecting the community to be cool with it. And even all the anticipation, the aftermath, and like here we are like 8 months later, and we still don't have a new roadmap, right, for STEPN OG. Resilience Gems, that upgrade just happened after like a year, if not longer, delay. For me, there seems to be a little bit of, I guess, hubris, pride, ego, false sense of success. Let me give credit for where credit's due. They have done really well, and I don't think I could have made a better product. I really don't. But my role, your role as community members, isn't to make the product. We're supposed to kind of give feedback, as ecosystem members. And this is me doing that. So I want to give credit where credit's due. What a product. Incredible what they've achieved. But I feel like they could have achieved so much more, again, if they just made themselves more available for critique. Really understood who their audience should be. And it should have been the immediate STEPN community, and then those already in crypto or Web3. And then after that, maybe Web2 users. And a false kind of sense of success. I feel like there was an air of we can't do anything wrong. We're moving, and everything we touch turns into gold, especially following an Adidas partnership. That was last March, April. This Forbes shout out, again, one of the number one games on Solana. So guys, I mean, if STEPN is completely successful, and not only the game, but GMT, GGT, GST, perform incredibly well, great. I win. If you're invested, you win. But as it stands, I wouldn't recommend STEPN to like an investor. If someone came up to me and said, hey, like I'm thinking about STEPN, I'd be like, okay, like, if you're going to do that, I'm happy to help with your setup. But if they said like, hey, do you think this is wise and a safe ecosystem? Are the developers and team very reliable for how they steward this project and their community members? I would say no. I'm like, I would say, the devs aren't super reliable. They seem to not actually consider the investor in the ways that the investor cares about, with just kind of knowing what the game plan is, more or less, because that's how we make our financial decisions. And though, there may be those course corrections to have a burn event or to give, FSL points or GMT like awards down the line, that doesn't, build long-term trust. Again, that's just kind of a bread trail a little bit to keep you going, to keep you fed, but where's it leading you? Like, is it leading you to somewhere safe, reliable, or somewhere in the woods where you really don't see where you're going beyond the breadcrumbs in front of you? And with STEPN OG, and go. I have not seen these sync super well. I've seen it splinter the community. There seems to be less excitement, less unity overall. It feels like two worlds. It like even opening up my X feed. I don't like seeing the blue of Step and Go. I want to see the old OG colors, right? I like the UI of Step and OG, knowing that we're all in that. And really, if we can just get another like socials, even from ground zero, like start a new Step and OG account, just so us sole Step and OG members can stay on, that'd be great. I mean, I don't go on Step and Go, and I don't plan to, because my fear is if I invest a week from now, the devs can choose to start a new product, right? Like just like that. And then not only start a new product, but just expect me to be cool with it, which I'm not cool with that. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. If you're invested in STEPN, hey, maybe you've been here and you're just kind of doing it to earn. I don't plan on selling my assets right now, at least my main earners, during this bull run. I want to continue to earn, but I seriously am thinking about, after this next year, about whether to keep and maintain with this. Again, the thing that's keeping me in is I just enjoy it. I just enjoy getting my kilometers up. I enjoy kind of just chipping away at those goals. And I just really would like to see more rewards or more badges offered in STEPN OG. But yeah, hope you're having positive experiences and other investments that you're in. If you've been in STEPN, if you've been, following me or subscribed to me, you know the journey. I'm a lot less frequent. One, life is busy, but it's kind of just tough to make videos on STEPN when you don't know the direction. And then when my name is attached to it too, like for you guys or for people I know, like I want to give as sound advice as I can, or not financial advice, but I want to speak from a place of integrity as much as I can and call a spade a spade. And, if this is a good investment, I want to say that, and I might have said that, or I know I did say that for myself personally months ago, but now I'm like, man, if I was just getting into crypto right now, I don't know if I'd get into STEPN. I mean, the prices aren't too shabby. I mean, at least doesn't cost as much to get into STEPN now than it did when I first got in. So maybe there's less financial risk in that sense. But this here's a quick little survey that I took of 9 people. In a nutshell here. Engagement and activity is overall, it hasn't increased since Step and Go. Only 22% have said they're more active or have noticed more activity around STEPN since the Step and Go announcement. That was back in May. 44% less, 33% about the same. So let's just say 70% have seen no increase in, STEPN engagement, which is not good, right? You don't want that to be the case as we kind of exist in this bull run, even though we have a long ways to go to get to new highs. Man, if we can even just get to $1, that'd be awesome. But there you go. Those are my thoughts. If you're wondering, my thoughts are lately. I do think this burn is a good thing, right? So at the very least, if you're just earning GMT, you're going to be earning, a crypto asset that's going to become more scarce. There's still going to be the monthly releases. And so long as people still stay and this invested in the STEPN ecosystem in GMT and this market cap stays healthy, there could be just reasonable profits with simply just walking or running and earning GMT or GST. All right, you guys, that's it. Take care.